Hello, Cactus crew. Thanks for tuning in, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Cactus Bill. Tonight in this stream, we are going to be looking at Katie Joy and how she loves to wear the label of journalist. However, we know that she is far from any journalist. She's even below the sun, US. If she went to get a job there, God, Google that name, see her past portfolio, everything. Anyway, I just want to say, everything that I do say in this video, and like always, is always my own opinion. I recommend checking out the description box below because that's where you will find the timestamps, links, extra info. And also if you keep scrolling, you will find a cactus, and there you will find the link to join this channel, become a member. The Cactus contributors, they contribute, they get extra stuff. And so if you'd like to join, that would be awesome. Support the channel, and let me just drive it home with a little intro. Like I said, everything I say is my own opinion. Hey guys, how is everybody going? How are you going out there? So we're not off to a good roll on this channel. I have missed a few deadlines myself, but I have learned how to make shorts. Yes, it took me too long. As a snail, it's always my way to take the long way and figure it out. But yeah, so welcome guys. Katie fucking Joy, no journalist that I've ever seen, loves to wear that label. Goes about her whole life looking for that damn label that's going to be who she is. We're going to look back at a video from 2019 that she put up on her Without a Crystal Ball channel. I've done a video on it. It's called How My Dreams Became My Reality. And she talks about how she always dreamt of being a journalist and now she is one. But if she had any passion for writing, any actual love and drive for what she does as a ET finger reporter, you'd think she would learn from past mistakes. You'd think she'd be putting together a professional portfolio that's worth looking at for potential future employees. Don't just Google search me. No, here's my portfolio of all my work, what I'm known for. Oh, the Von McRae case, that's a great example. Because Mrs. Paulson's over on her Instagram shouting from the treetops. Well, no, not the treetops, because you'd have to leave the house. Maybe there's a tree. There's a cat tree, scratching tree. So she's on top of that and she is screaming, I've got reporter privilege, everyone. Reporter fucking privilege. Finally, everything that I've been saying is paying off just by putting this label on it. Well, no, it doesn't quite work like that when you've got a portfolio of sharing every fucking information, like not even sifting it yourself to what's important. Do I have any responsibility for the public here? Am I just in it for myself? Do I even know what I'm reporting on? Has that person given me a hate boner today? I don't know. Tunnel vision. I can't see. Fucking wake up. This whole 7M lawsuit, I doubt would be happening if we had someone with an actual brain that learnt from their mistakes, was able to grow, improve, become a better journalist, she fucking sits on her Facebook and all that, trying to say, oh, I've been an advocate my whole life. That's what my channel started out for, I'm here for the children, the survivors, the victims. No, you aren't. Look back at your fucking stuff that's on the internet. And we'll get to that as well. I wrote a whole novel on Instagram to the point where I had to delete words to fit it in, because I reached you've got no more words to fit in, which I hate that. Like, give me a never-ending box. And yeah, if you're out there and if you're listening out there, and you're like, well, I might feel like doing a little bit of work with my fingers. No, I don't mean that, but come in and have a little chin wag with the Cactus crew. They're always having a good old chin wag. But let's go and watch Katie's chin wagging on Instagram as she lets us know about what her lawyer let her know. Oh, there she is. Hello. Hello, Katie. Oh, God, I've set it up. Okay, so I got to mute me now. We're coming in for you.
Involved in. And listen, it's such a standard part of working in the blogging and media world. Unfortunately, I would think of it as sort of an occupation.
Just start from the beginning.
I've been involved in. And listen, it's such a standard part of working in the blogging and media world. Unfortunately, I would think of it as sort of an occupational hazard. I have been targeted frequently by some people that I think are just like up to really not so good things. And so sometimes those people don't like me reporting on them. But one thing that we've been trying to prove to the court in all of these, because there's been a series of them, is that I'm a journalist and I should qualify what's called journalistic privilege in the state of Minnesota. And yesterday, a judge actually said that I was. So they said, defendants are plausibly a journalistic outlet which enjoys a qualified privilege against defamation claims, basically meaning like I'm doing a job and I have a privilege to do my job. And you can't just sue me because I've done my job. Also, the judge said this: plaintiffs have a steep mountain to climb while bearing a heavy burden to prove their defamation claims against the defendants. And while the record submitted to the court will present at the present juncture does not categorically show the plaintiffs do not have any likelihood of prevailing on the merits, the court does not consider the claims to have substantial likelihood of being proven. So the court doesn't believe that Robert Shin has a case against me, nor would he win in any way, shape, or form.
How dumb is she? Her comprehension. She can read mumble jumble and not even understand any of that and just turn to the camera and go, and that means it's good for me. No, it doesn't. Let's have a look at what the actual Minnesota statutes, if you're wondering, Bill, do you have any journalistic qualifications? Where does your mastery come from when you are talking such intellectual words? Well, I did actually study journalism. I totally forgot about it back in 2000 when I first went to university as, fresh, like little 18-year-old. That was what I went to. I moved to the city to study journalism, and I made it 2.5 years out of a 3-year degree, and then decided, I don't think this is for me. I mean, fuck, I've got anxiety from deadlines, and I don't like being yelled at and, pressure. But I did like writing. Okay. So Katie, with those qualifications, yeah, I might be up for a journalism award. You aren't, not with what you bring to the table. So let's just go over a few things that I found important in this. So this is the News Media Protection of Sources, the 590, that to that, okay? Also known as the Minnesota Free Flow of Information Act. And it's basically, what we went through about confidential information that's in the 7M lawsuit, the latest filings, actually goes over this and like who is actually allowed certain information, like blah, blah, blah. But this is the one that I really found important under defamation, because that is why we're here. We're not here for discovery. Oh no, that would be premature for the Paulson person who has a pulse and a sun, but yeah, that's it. Okay. So it says So that disclosure part, which I should have just said, but, you know, basically, the publication of information will stay within the people that have are involved in this court case, blah, blah, blah. And protection of information. So that the prohibition, I said it wrong, right? Prohibition. Oh, fucking brain. Look at you just working your smarts right now. Really letting the intellectual team down. Okay. Blah, blah, blah of disclosure provided in section 595 shall not apply in any defamation action where the person seeking disclosure can demonstrate that the identity of the source will lead to relevant evidence of the issue of actual malice. And really that's what 7M is proving in that Katie, all the stuff that she released, their malice, what they went through, the loss of finances, like didn't they lose over 3 million or something? They went through all that income that Miranda and Derek had lost because of the character assassination of 7M and Robert Shin that was coming from without a crystal ball, because it was full on attack. It was not strategic, being a journalist, using your smart words, you know? No, it was everything. Look what I'm finding on you, Robert. Oh my God, let's go right back to your teenage years when you were trying to finance this house, and let's look in your real estate. Let's make sure the world knows how fucking dodgy you are. But in the world, you know, only in the eyes of the person that goes into something with such a hate boner. So she only reads what she wants, which is what's happened here. I reckon her lawyer must have just let her know that, like, talked her through the different points, you know, who's available, what information she's able to discuss, blah, blah. And by the way, you might have reporter privilege. But when you think about it, if the information you have released, Mrs. Paulson, can actually prove that you shared it with intention of malice, yeah, those fucking rights go out the window. And if we just take a look at every fucking case that you've covered, you go in there with such hate. You are unable to write unbiasedly. You are fucking biased with only a clear bias. Oh my God. Did we just solve? We just solved the word puzzle. But now let's go. Well, is there any more here? Do you have any more information? I didn't scroll any more. Oh, that's just all the witness stuff and the confidentiality. But yeah, Katie, if you've never treated your work, held it up to the highest standards, you know, like who would want that information when it's just come from like Pacer and all that? But yeah, you got no source. That's you. Your sources are lies. Even now with you're like, oh, these people are contacting me, the ex-cult members. No, that's you. Because you don't have self-awareness. So you don't understand how your past work is an example of who you are. No fucking person with a working brain would go, oh, she's going to treat my victim story with absolute respect and not share it, and she's the one I choose to tell. Fuck off, Katie. Delusion. It just runs wild in the Paulson house because no one's got any credentials. Only if you want to make guitars, but we're not here for stencil time, are you? Katie, maybe you should sing. You know, would you sing in monotone? Oh, I don't know. Oh, here we go. Also, this video, I went back to try and find it on her channel and I couldn't find it. So luckily, this is my own copy. But yeah, it's from July 2019, and she's still working at PATHEOS, so they haven't fired her yet for all her defamation claims against Tati. That article that she wrote, didn't understand, did not understand, because all that stuff she wrote about Tati, she never had like any actual source. Like, it was just gossip from the internet, hearsay, her whole spiel on how James, gotta say James Charles, oh, Tati's the reason for Dramageddon. But yeah, so here is Katie Joy talking about her journalism dreams. I don't want to press play. I don't want to press play. No, don't make me do it. Oh, she's wearing the Mama Bear shirt. I've got timestamps, but they're on the table over there.
Co-hosting a show on a channel called Non Sequitur, which I have taken a step back from now because the platform doesn't really match what I'm doing here anymore. But as I've been doing this, it's been challenging because some of the stories that I want to tell you guys the most, I can't if I want to make my channel still monetized. And that really bums me out because there's so many crazy stories and things that I know about beyond celebrity gossip and goop that I think could add such a value to the conversation here on YouTube. And I'm noticing that YouTube just really wants very fluffy content. And that really bothers me because the news isn't always fluffy. The news isn't always tidy. The news doesn't, I wonder why they say it's not advertiser friendly, but then how do news stations get advertising? How does a news station get advertising when they're doing stories about children and abuse and crime and domestic violence and that kind of stuff? That Dateline NBC gets plenty of advertising and they talk about really, really, really hard stuff. And
this is another thing she's never understood about network news, commercial news, compared to the shit she does. She thinks that just by putting the label of journalist on her, she ranks with the people that have actually gone to university and have got that degree. She ranks with people that have extended their education and gone on and got a master's in journalism because they're passionate. You can't just slap the fucking label on there and call it a day and then wonder, oh my God, how come I can't do exactly what, Don Lemon does? Yeah, Katie, why? This is so pitiful watching this. Oh my God.
One of the things that I've done on my column for a long time is talk about hard stuff. And one of the challenges here on YouTube is I feel like I have to be pulled in multiple different directions. And that part of it is not my favorite aspect of doing this job because I've had to find a way to somehow make this economically productive for me, but also at the same time not derail so much what I'm doing on my column at PATHEOS. And that's really where I'm challenged right now. And I wanted to kind of talk to you about really what the last year has been like, because it's been almost a year since I started at PATHEOS. I started in, actually, it'll be a year this month. I was hired in June, and then my column first went live in the second week of July of 2018. I was writing before that, but I thought gosh, I wanted to share how it all happened and what this month, what this whole year has been for me, and how this has been able for me to have my wildest dreams become my reality. And it's crazy because when you think about your wildest dreams becoming your reality, you think, oh God, you must be so rich. No, it wasn't even about that. It was about me fulfilling my dream of becoming a writer, being published, having an editor, being able to have a team behind me, not being some sort of independent blogger anymore, not being a mommy blogger anymore. Nothing against mommy bloggers. I just didn't enjoy it. And it's been crazy, you guys, because a year ago in June 2018, I took this insane leap, and I had just left this church, and I was in this crazy place because I hadn't just left a church. It had been several months, but I just gotten out of this haze of pretending to be a Christian again after years of being an atheist. It's a very confusing story and one I don't often discuss, but I was not in the church for a very long time. I grew up Catholic, went back to the church when my son became ill, and sort of fell down this rabbit hole where I was involved in this very cult-like church that was very Assemblies of God, let's just say. And I was coming out of that, and I was like, oh gosh, I have so much to say, I have so much to write about. And I applied at PATHEOS, and because PATHEOS is the largest website on the internet that hosts conversations related to faith. And initially I was like, oh gosh, writing about atheism would be neat. But I was concerned because I applied and I just wanted to make sure that if I brought my column there, actually I didn't even know what it meant, but if I brought myself there, would it mean that I had to write about atheism? Would I have to write about being an atheist? Would I have to write all about God all the time? And like my editor assured me that I could just do whatever I wanted. Like literally didn't matter. The reason they take writers there is because they like a diversity of content. They like to have a variety of different things on there. He knew that I would do topics related to parenting, topics related to celebrity stuff, because not a lot of people do that on my website. I'm one of the few. And they like to have a variety of different things on there. He knew that I would do topics related to parenting, topics related to celebrity stuff, because not a lot of people do that on my website. I'm one of the few.
Okay, chat. Had you ever heard of PATHEOS before you came across Katie Joy? I'd never heard of PATHEOS, but I was listening to what's it called? What's that? With the people that she was on PATHEOS with, and they have that podcast. I've played a few of her clips, but the one, yeah, she says she'd never heard of PATHEOS before, but when she told her husband that she was going to start working there, he was basically jumped up and was like, doing his happy dance. He's like, I know PATHEOS. Oh my God, I check in with the pagan stuff over there. Yeah, so and they don't just let you write whatever you want, Katie, because in a few months when you write your tarty article, and then you get 3 cease and desist. Oh, but PATHEOS said I can write whatever I want. And I said there are sources. I just didn't link them because they only exist in my head and in my hate boner that's in my hand. I took it there. I went way too far. Also, chat, I'll come back, and if you want me to see something, write it in caps. It just helps me so much. And then, yeah, we can chat. So I'll just play for a bit. I should get up and look at my timestamps I've written down. But, well, I'm captivated by the sight of no dogs.
And pseudoscience and stuff about vaccines and taking care of your health and not buying into alternative health crap and all that kind of good stuff. And in the last year, like my column became very well known in the skeptic world, let's just say. I had a lot of success, and the skeptic world isn't humongous. It's not, I mean, it has a decent like community size, but the problem with anything is that you don't want to be pigeonholed, right? So like if you're a writer, if you get microed into a specific area, then you're sort of stuck there. And then if you always are writing about the same things, then it gets very, it gets hard to find content to write about. Let's be honest. Like, how many times can you talk about a miracle cure? How many times can you talk about how crazy anti-vaxxers are? How many times can you talk about the lunatics at free birth? Like that kind of stuff. But then at the same time, it's literally probably what I write about best, and it's the stuff that's read the most. So it's tough because I can write an article like I did today, for instance, about a midwife or a radical birth keeper that lives in Nebraska that was charged with crimes against because she assisted in a birth that she wasn't licensed to assist in. She performed a medical procedure that she wasn't licensed or qualified to do, and it resulted in the death of the baby. And she's been finding that story was wild to me. Women in the birth world go viral. I knew that the story I wrote was provided to me by sock accounts. And for a long time on Facebook, I was working with these sock accounts. And these sock accounts, who it's crazy. Like I never knew their names. I never knew where they lived. I never knew what they did. I never knew anything. They had pictures and they had names like Sarah and, Laura, or Andy.
Or Chloe, or Andy, or Sandy, or Petra. Yes, I know. And then you decided to become those socks. Do you even own socks? Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah. Okay, continue. It's beautiful. Continue about your army of socks.
Or Jim, just very vanilla names with like avatar kind of cartoon faces. And I never spoke to people on the phone. I never knew who these people were, but they always had this insane amount of information. And so they would send it to me and then they'd say, can you write about it? And so that's kind of how I found the story about this girl in California. And that's the story that I helped with on the Daily Beast. So the story with the Daily Beast was insane because the interview I did with Emily, who's the reporter there, she ended up including quite a bit of my quotes in the article, along with links directly to my column and articles that I'd written about this. And I ended up writing probably 8 or 9 stories total in related to that case because it was just so incredibly wild. And it was related to a woman that was in labor for 6 days. And it's just, she didn't have help and she relied on a Facebook group, and the Facebook group leader wouldn't let her, was deleting all these messages, and she wouldn't let anyone tell her to go to a hospital. It was sick and crazy. And it's crazy because through that story, then we ended up being able to get that group off of.
Guys, have you noticed all through this, she was direct looking in the camera. As soon as she starts talking about these socks and what they're up to, and they're other people, and I don't know who they are, and they have cartoon avatars. Like, my God, you must be the only twit on Twitter that actually uses your real name. Remember when Katie used to go off at people for not having their real name on Twitter? She's a complete idiot. Oh.
Facebook, so they left Facebook, and she's the woman that runs Free Birth Society, still has like a podcast, but now she writes about sort of the dangers of the natural childbirth movement, and she's an and it just sort of like snowballed from there, because then I started like following more of these stories. I started seeing more of these cases. I started realizing that more and more of these babies were not having the best outcome, and the births always went sideways or pear-shaped or whatever you want to call it. And there was a lot of really tragic stories that were going on, and there wasn't a lot of people in the media talking about it. A story would get picked up here and there, but it wasn't really anything that was like discussed in great detail. And the craziest story I wrote was in November, that story, the one about Free Birth Mama in California, that went viral. I mean, that went international. But in terms of like my own articles going viral, the biggest story I ever wrote was about a woman that gave birth at 45 weeks, she went to 45 weeks pregnant. Her doula, at least she listened to me, and then on Twitter she gave me a shout out for like suggesting she look into it, and it's actually changed quite a few things. And Facebook actually announced like last week that they're going to change how like alternative health groups are going to be like shared on the timeline and the news feeds. So I guess in like ways, like I was really sad that I didn't get to work more closely on that story with Randy, but these are the things I've been writing about. I can't believe some of my stories have been read as much as they have. I can't believe that one of the stories I wrote literally broke wide open and went viral and was picked up by every outlet. I can't believe another story that I pitched to NBC ended up in Amazon removing a bunch of books, Facebook removing a bunch of groups, and like knowing that changes were happening. And so for me, like when I say like I can't believe my dreams became reality, like my dreams were always to get rid of some of the stuff on Facebook that's harmful for children, that's harmful for people that are sick. But then it was also for me to be a writer. I just wanted to be a writer. I didn't care what that meant. I didn't care what it looked like. I just wanted to be a published writer. And that's what I'm doing now. And it's not like I'm making $1 million, but it's still like gives me a purpose, and I feel good about myself every day. And I really don't like that YouTube is so weird about what they choose to monetize and what they don't. It makes no sense to me. Like no sense. I don't understand.
But you're all about child safety on Facebook and all that, and you want to rid the world of all the garbage. But then you're saying, well, YouTube, they have an issue with what they got to monetize. Yes, that's all part of the protection. Also, imagine if they didn't. Imagine the shit that you would fucking post. You still do. My God. And I was just, as you were dribbling on there, I was just thinking back to your time on KIWIFARMS. Why did I say it so weird? Maybe because I was looking at your face, Katie, when I said it. Kiwi. Oh, because I heard Katie say Shekinah. She calls it Shekinah. That's not how you say Shekinah church. And is she really needs to look it up and see that it's worldwide. Anyway, okay. Oh, you threw me off. Katie threw me off. Where was I? Yeah. When she went on to KIWIFARMS with the Schofield stuff, and she was sharing all her articles that she wrote on PATHEOS, and everyone in there was like, yeah, she's good with the details. At least it's getting out there. But shit, she can't write, like, what is she, 5th grade? And so if it's your passion, how come you don't want to perfect it? How come you have remained the same shitty fucking writer? My God, you don't care about your work. Like, you'll just write an article. I don't think you've ever heard your first draft is that your first fucking draft. You just put it out because you're so lazy. You wouldn't want to reread it, maybe fix it up, perfect it. Like I said, if you ever studied journalism, you would have failed the plagiarism protocol. Every time you go to hand in an assignment for journalism, Katie, you got to put it through this protocol, and you have to aim for above 90%. So it scans your document and lets you know if you've plagiarized a lot of fucking shit. And that's you. They probably made that for you because they were like, quick, before she comes back and studies. But no, I think we've shattered her dreams because she did go to university to study journalism. But the story goes that her lecturer told her that she needs to work because she's a fucking shit writer. Like, if you want to be a writer, how come you write so shit? The reason, in my opinion, is because she's got no heart, no feelings, so there's no flow. If you're not getting anything from a piece of writing, top-notch journalism there. I'm throwing myself off. I was going to find the bit where she says that someone that works at CNN doesn't have a journalism degree. Are they?
Over 100 times now, and it's had thousands of views already. And so sometimes when I find a story and I know that, like, I'm annoyed at some of the, you know, stories and like, oh God, Katie, another baby. She like predicted it. Like, I can't be held accountable. I'm above the law. If I'm in this group, nothing will happen to me. But guess what? She wasn't above the law. It was all a lie. And so much of these worlds are built around those sort of like thinking about stories that I've been reading about or been researching, trying to figure out what I'm going to put on my column for the day. Then I have to put out 3 articles, or, you know, anywhere from 1 to 3 articles. I usually try to do. It's just challenging. So, and then I have to find a way to make it interesting because it's YouTube. You always have to have an angle. So yeah. And then like the stuff I did on Tati in terms of like her background and like her past and that stuff, that took weeks. So yeah, I'm definitely writing. Yes, Taylor, writing has always been my dream. I started writing for a website called The Mighty, which is a disability website. And I wrote, but I got very tired of my son and wanted to write for my son. And I love to research. I love to investigate. I love to know the truth about things. I love to dig. I love to dig. I love to fall down rabbit holes, let's just say. And I love to tell stories. So yes, becoming a writer is amazing. And this year my income is like way more than it was the previous year. So I'm just gonna keep hoping that every year I'm doing this, I'm just gonna make more money, and it'll even make more money. And then my family will actually not be so damn poor. I mean, we're not poor, but you know what I mean? Like, I had to give up a really high paying job. So just trying to like get us back to normal.
Yes, let's talk about your corporate world job, your big high money paying $90,000 a year, I think it is. A cappella university, yeah, call center. Yeah, your commissions fell when you came back from maternity leave. Yeah, couldn't quite keep up the numbers, but that's all right. Keep lying.
See, it's funny because I don't necessarily think of myself as a journalist. I don't really know what I consider myself. I've never thought of myself as a journalist. I've always thought of myself as a writer. I would say, like, in a lot of ways, I would say when I am doing journalist work, it's more like investigative journalism. I'm definitely not a journalist that does just like, this is the story, here it is. Like, I always have to like provide like a little bit of my opinion. So then I feel like I also end up sort of going on the op-ed side of things. I'm not a traditional journalist. And probably one of the nastiest things that someone ever said to me was a woman that worked at a local newspaper in my town, or in the Twin Cities. And she's like, you really don't believe you're a journalist, right? Because that's not what you're doing. And I was like, I've never said I was a journalist. I've never, like, people will refer to me as a journalist, but I don't have like training in journalism. But you know, the funny thing is a lot of journalists don't have training in journalism. The journalist that I worked with at NBC News, her degree is in library science. So, you know.
Which is the School of Art. You can get a degree, anything in the School of Art, which is journalism, psychology, library science. You can get anything as long as you're in the School of Art, and then you can progress and get that journalism degree. Katie, you are so fucking dumb. God, at least she fucking graduated and is working a job in journalism. You have not changed. Let's go to my Instagram because I have some words for you before I lose my voice again. Look, we'll continue playing until I find my way.
No, there's a like very big misnomer that journalists have degrees in journalism, and that's just simply not true. A lot of journalism is learning it as you go, learning the rules of it as you go, having the ability to like have the balls to put a story out, being brave, being fearless, being able to chase a story down. That's really what journalism is, more than like learning how to do it in school.
What have you learned along the way? You've learned no ethics, no fucking morals, no values, no boundaries, no responsibility for what you put out and how that's affecting the public. You report on victims, you cause way more fucking harm than any other journalist out there. And so why you sit back and go, why is everyone suing me? I mean, I'm just doing what every other YouTuber is doing. No, Like I said, tunnel vision for you, pea-brain style.
I think having a good comp class and good writing skills absolutely helps. But then there's the story component and the instinct that you can't really be taught. So yeah. I think sometimes people think that, I don't know, people have ideas about journalism that I don't think are really real. And I think whether you're a journalist or a blogger, it really doesn't matter. In this world, to be honest, the most highly paid people in the world of writing are bloggers. Blogs are some of the most highly read content now in terms of like media. And whether that's good or bad, I don't know, but there's definitely a relatable aspect to blogging. There's a relatable aspect to writing columns like this. I started as a blog, but it's weird because I have a column, that's what it's called at PATHEOS. And so I host the column without a crystal ball. So when you go to PATHEOS, you can see all these different sort of bloggers or journalists or writers, and they all have their own columns. And so everyone has their own like page on PATHEOS. Everyone has their own like header. Everyone has their own skin. A lot of people have their own followers. But there's also like an overlap. So like my stuff not only gets shared on my page, but then I also get shared on the non-religious page, which is run by my editor. So he'll take the different stuff that I'm working and then he puts it on the page for the non-religious section. And then there's also a section for entertainment. And so I have a lot of content that's entertainment related. And so then it will end up on the related pages for entertainment. And then the other thing is that the company that owns PATHEOS is called BeliefNet, and they own so.
Oh, sorry to interrupt your absolute dribble, but something came to me just then, and I was reminded of your fucking husband. Yeah, when he said, "You didn't tell them that you were a reporter, did you?" And then you're like, "Yeah, like what else do I call it?" And then he is just fucking laughing at your patheticness. Even your husband doesn't believe you're a journalist. Full stop, full stop, full stop. Gosh, and you want this free flow of information when you're fucking Katie Paulson, period. No, period Paulson. But not in the period you're thinking, because, you know, comprehension, I'm not spelling it out for you either. Okay, because I'm done with listening to you get excited and you grooming and stroking your fucking ego, which is your hair, your awful fucking hair, Marilyn Manson. I feel bad for Manson saying that. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya in another life, brother. In another life. Okay, I posted a lot, but where are we going? The one where I've got words. Well, okay, is it this one? Because I. Okay, well, I might have to play the video. Oh yeah, I found this video. I was going to release it on YouTube. Might put it out later. It's the full one of like Lindsay and also the other one we're going to look at in a minute. Okay, let me just get a drink because Hallie, I wrote a novel for you, Katie. Okay. Oh, I love water. It's so hot here, like ridiculous. I can't wait for winter. Okay, so let's just watch this first.
Me and said,
give me time.
Chrisley, who does a podcast with
Hillary
from Teen Mom 2. And through my friendship with Lindsay.
Oh yeah, it's only a snippet. I wrote, weekly reminder without a crystal ball, Katie Joy. The internet is forever. So is your portfolio of work, which most journalists show improvement over the years. She distracted me from the side. Peripheral vision. Okay. God, I wish I had tunnel vision just for reading this. Most journalists show improvement over the years. Your writing has become worse. If writing is your passion, why don't you want to perfect it? Learn, improve. Oh, that's right. You don't have goals. You think you're perfect. Also, have you noticed that you lie 24/7? That's a lie. I can hear you. Sit down, Paulson, sit down, okay? I'm reading brutal truth time here. No stories, truth and fact from someone with more credentials than you, okay? Fucking lost my way. Capitals, look for the capitals. Yeah, have you noticed that you lie 24/7 and that all your lies are on the internet forever? And that one Google search of your name is all anyone needs to do if considering hiring you or speaking to you. Your advocacy is all fake, and it's evident that you exploit people, mostly those who are vulnerable. Even the judge in the 7M case has seen clips of you drunk as fuck on Instagram, and still you tell yourself that you have journalistic integrity, boundaries, morals, values, respect. Your work says otherwise, Paulson. Oh, I need an applause button for myself. Without self-awareness, yeah, self-awareness. Go to a self-awareness class. A journalist with no self-awareness preaching fucking reporter privilege. Have you ever heard anything more fucking pathetic? Well, yes, you have. If you've watched Katie for this long, you have. Without self-awareness, I guess all you have is lies. I mean, how fucking embarrassing to be singing from the trees that you've got reporter privilege, but you don't even hold your own work to this level of confidentiality. You share everything. You wouldn't know what is important and what's not. You struggle with comprehension, and you struggle to understand the reality is you have no sources and have shared irrelevant personal financial information in order to slander and assassinate Robert Shin's character, business, and his religious beliefs. If you'd studied journalism, you'd know how you've gone about things. Attacking people, that's not, it's not responsible code of practice. And you forfeit your rights, Paulson. You do. Your whole fucking portfolio says this woman doesn't even hold up her own responsibilities. You release everything. You wouldn't even know what's important. Perhaps if you'd done the work to acquire the credentials that you so desperately want, then we wouldn't be mopping up pea soup every 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Fucking right? It's fucking brutal truth. There's more truth on this one. This one's beautiful. Look.
Because people have inserted themselves and routinely insert themselves into my life doesn't mean that the information that they're providing to people is at all factual or even remotely true. I, as someone that values credibility and values being thorough in what I cover and making sure that I vet people and my sources, can't fathom anyone going to the lengths that these people are going to in terms of the amount of damage they're trying to inflict in my personal life.
How fucking dumb is she, guys? Like, so dumb. She's doing the exact same thing that what she's doing to Robert Shin is what she did to Tati. Not only was she going after Tati's business, you know, with the beauty pills or whatever, or her supplements, she went and into Tati's personal life, into her husband's life, in like, what the fuck? She's just so dumb. So don't believe these people, you know. I wouldn't trust anything they say. Listen to me, I know everything, but what I say is always right, even though I have had multiple defamation cases now. Like, no other journalist is that stupid to have multiple defamation cases for the same fucking thing. Yo, I always start serious conversation with you, Katie. Yo, let's get down on the bro level, bro to bro, okay? Girlfriend to not, okay? Yo, Katie Joy, aka Katie Joy Paulson of Without a Crystal Ball LLC. Just, you know, so you know this is for you. First step, this is self-awareness 101. Welcome to this class. No seats, you have to stand. First step is to take note of where you are as you film this. You're in your bed, by the way. Yeah, okay, just let you know. Secondly, you say you pride yourself on vetting sources. You are our source. We don't need to vet that, right? But also, she doesn't have any sources. All her sources are her. Oh, God, I sound so intellectual with my words. She's fucking mushed my brain already. Okay. You constantly overshare your personal life, your son's personal life, every person who has ever spoken out against you. Lastly, you're not mindful of anything, ever. No, you're not mindful of anything. You can't control your reaction because you have no conscious level of brain activity. You've dimmed your own light by abusing alcohol and other harmful substances, in my opinion, for well over half your life. You have tunnel vision that's driven by your absolute hate boner towards anyone you deem fit. Every single person you've once said was a friend, other YouTube creators, no one wants to be around your negativity. No one wants to be around you. Your negativity has you stunted in your own cycle of misery, living your whole life as a lie, just to prove others wrong. You even buy subscribers and Instagram likes. In my opinion, of course. If you had self-awareness, Mrs. Paulson, yes, still talking to you. Tunnel vision on this mouth right now, okay? This cactus bill is talking to you. I'm on a ladder and I'm peering through the window, making my cameo to you. If you had self-awareness, Mrs. Paulson, you'd see that no one fucking cares. You're only cheating on yourself, just like you have your whole life. Any guy who rejected you was automatically a target for you to destroy. You're all talk, no sources, and no intellect that could ever threaten anyone. Your level of dumb only exists in idiots who drink themselves into a zombie state, and you never change. Hell no. Why would you change? It's everyone else's problem. Never, ever you, Catherine Meggs. Just so we know we're talking to the right Katie Joy. Yeah, it's Menksky. Okay. I don't know why. Yeah, it always makes me want red skin lollies. I don't know why. Okay. Catherine Menksky. Is this why you act like a teenager? 16 candles forever. The woman that never aged. Is this why you never knew that you could get a UTI from sex? Is this why you thought no one else knew about the replica bridge in Spain? I bet you didn't know that. Remember how snarky you were? I bet you didn't know that. No, Katie, a lot of people have traveled abroad. Is this why you didn't know that cold sores are part of herpes virus and could kill your son? Is this why you have no sense of smell and a blanket wrapped around your bottom half? Is this why you lease out a BMW that's too big for you? You can't even reach the fucking pedals? Why do you and your douche canoe husband from Canis Diaris, Mr. Paulson, Mr. Crystal Balls, even though his wife is without one. You know, he can't even just be Mr. Crystal Ball and I gave the other one to my wife, so she's not without one. No, she's without one and you've got two. Yeah, so why does this Todd Paulson is a loser, Todd Paulson is an enabler, just to be fucking right that we got the right one, you know? Neglect the needs of 4 cats and 2 coonhounds. Oh, yeah, do you know what? I found out. I've got a post. I'll post it on my Instagram. But, yeah, Katie has too many animals for the animal laws in her city or whatever. Yeah, so I needed clarification because I couldn't understand it. So it said, like, you can't have more than 3 dogs or 3 cats and no more than 4 animals combined. Yeah, she has 6 animals. And if she does have that she needs an animal permit, an animal housing permit or something. But then also she needs like the ranger to come by her house to re-register the cats and dogs, knowing how many there are, because she must have originally registered them and said that there were only the 2 cats, Mason and what was the other one? You know, they had the 2 and then I can't remember. I can't remember the cat tree right now. But yeah, so, and I'm sure if the ranger found out that all these animals were kept inside 24/7, there'd be issues. Oh yeah, because I also, did I write a lot on the dog post? Yes, because this snail learnt how to make shorts. There's no water in their bowls, Katie. I think I might need a drink. I have totally used all my oomph. All right, this was like, oh, there's music. I'll see if I can play it without music. But this was, what were they talking about? Jeremy Vuolo. How can he afford to get a Lexus and a really rich house? She just focuses on everyone's finances. That is fucking jealousy. She wishes. Yeah, and then they're like, how can he afford all that? And then Katie says they have a mortgage on their house and they're probably leasing the Lexus. She has just given it away. That picture still bugs me, the one where she is standing with the car, because I keep seeing these cars everywhere and and they're not like hers. Hers looks shit. Like hers doesn't have all the extras and stuff. And I always, I believe that this is the test drive car. Yes, that's what you do, because you don't ride. You ride. Oh, you'll never drive it. No. But yes, your daughter will. Does she have a booster seat? Oh my God. How does she reach the pedals? Okay, we will come back and away from this, because I feel if I don't get out of here, I'll lose my voice. Chat, I totally ignored you. No, I don't have Cash App, but I do have down below in my box, in my box downstairs, the description box, I have like PayPal, Pay Me, whatever. But yeah, that's it. Oh, Cash App. Yeah, I'm not that cool. I'm not cool with like the kids. I want one that has cool. Imagine just flicking that out. Okay. Oh, how is everybody going? I know I can't picture her with a white vehicle either, even just keeping it clean, vacuuming. Like, she wouldn't just be able to drop that down like to the clean, like the people that clean your car, because that's what I do. If I leave my house, it's to actually get my car like cleaned at the people in the place where I park to go into the shopping center. So when I come out, my car is nice and fucking clean. Oh, Annette. Well, it's not very long, so you'll have a good catch up. And it's just basically the carousel from hell, round and around and around we go. No credentials, no change in pattern, no learning, no growing. I can't understand. She's definitely way worse than, in the way she focuses with her eyes when we watched that just now, that How My Dreams Became a Reality. Again, lying to yourself. If it was your dream, if it was your passion, you would work at becoming better. You would acknowledge that the way that you report is probably not the best way, because all it's doing is acquiring defamation cases stacking up against you. And if 7M doesn't, I reckon 7M have a fucking good chance, because they are bringing in the online shit. Because you went after on a online cyber platform. All those rules are going to come into play. You're a bully online, Katie. You attack people without any fucking, you don't care how much you hurt someone. Even with Tati, she sent you 3 cease and desists to stop. She was going through hell in her personal life. And you just kept going and going and going. And you're an example for your son as well. Oh my God. My mum's the biggest bully. Are you raising a bully? Or are you raising someone that will stand up and fucking lie their ass off with, look at me, I didn't even have to go to university. I can call myself a journalist and I have privilege. And I'll just read it to how it suits me. It doesn't really matter how it's meant to be read. As long as I sell it to my subscribers that I'm on top and Robert Shin has nothing on me, says the lady that asked for discovery way, way before it's time. You were looking right. You had your Christmas paper roll, tunnel vision, just staring right past all the all the other stuff before discovery. Look at me, knowing exactly what I am talking about, but thank God there's some smart people here. Oh, it's good to see you guys. So there will be a Cactus contributors live this weekend. If you want to become a member of the channel, it's cheap as chips. They get extra content. They get a lot of content that I don't feel comfortable putting out into the public. A lot of shit. But yeah, they cop it and they're fine. They're still there. They're fucking legends. But yes, I appreciate all of you rocking up, having a chin wag in the chat. No fights. Look it's all of Twitter. I see you guys. I'm doing the I see you. I see you. Hey, TK and Goose. Thanks for always being great mods. But yeah, this Friday, we're going to hit some true crime. Yeah, I'm bringing the true crime dish to the Cactus table. I don't know what time it will be, but best bet is to subscribe, hit the bell. That'll notify you. And yeah, give this video a like. And you should subscribe. Come hang out with us more. And let's just... I think I overdid it, though, with Katie. I came too strong. And now I'm ready for different topics. I need a change of taste. Yeah. And also, I was saying to someone... how good would it be if the Duggars did sue her and made sure that she could never report on them again? I think that would be the way that she's going to be, her downfall on YouTube, because if she can't report on the Duggars and then Sister Wives are going out of business, who is she going to be? There's got to be one reality family that brings in and keeps that crowd. But then are we just there for the shit show? No, no one's there for the shit show anymore. The shit show has been going on for too long. Come on, 7M. Everyone get some positive energy and put it out there. Positive peas. Oh, yeah. Right? Can you even, I can't even imagine that lawsuit, that party. God, we'd have to have a Cactus party. But yeah, Cactus party coming up with all the 7M stuff. So yes, in conclusion, can anyone just slap a label on them and call themselves a journalist? Yeah, but in the end, it's your portfolio of past work that really sets the bar. And has that bar, been risen or lowered over the years, depending on how good your actual work is? Do you listen? Do you learn? Do you grow from your mistakes? You're the same fucking person you were back when you went after Tati. The same pettiness, the same hate boner, the same I'm going after you and I'm going to make sure that I ruin you. You set out to embarrass and humiliate people, their character, as the public sees them. Where the fuck is your responsibility as a journalist? If you still want to claim that you're a journalist, prepare to be banned from a lot of places. The judge even has access to your past defamation cases. The judge also can see that what happened during the Josh Duggar trial, where you took your little screenshot and got booted from the Zoom thing. So, you're fucking shady. There's a reason we call you Shady Katie. I've never called you Shady Katie, but yeah, it's in there. It's a possibility. Anything goes, but journalism. No, not for you. Otherwise, take a fucking journalism class, learn how to write. Become a better writer so that what you're saying, your information is clear. So people aren't left going, whoa, was she coming at me in that? Should I sue her because she's totally coming at me? Or is she presenting my wrongs in a critical thinking way that, isn't slander? This is actually written by someone that knows what they're talking about. No. No self-awareness, no comprehension, no fucking friends to tell you the fucking facts, no husband that cares, and a whole lot of lies. And yeah, here I am pointing them out. That's the fun part, because we get to have a little giggle and a little laugh, and we end smiling, and we don't lay our heads down at night knowing that we've just lied to the world. No. Every car that we own, we own. Every house that we live in, we own. No. Even if we didn't, we own it. We own it now, and there's nothing you can say, Katie. Okay, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you guys really do have a good day. And yeah, prepare for some true crime. I'm going to do an Australian case on a young girl, and it's pretty fresh. It happened last year. So yeah, look forward to that. And yeah, I'll catch you on Friday at the end of the week. Another one bites the dust. Thanks, guys. Take care.